This is our most asked question, and we get told we are doing it wrong all the time.
The sewer hose is hanging out a little bit.
Oh crap, okay, keep an eye on it.
14.7, we should be good, right?
This was the most challenging RV park to get into and get out of.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Cherie.
The things we do for YouTube videos.
This is our most asked question, and we get told we are doing it wrong all the time. Why do you travel in separate vehicles? Well, we're going to give you about 20 reasons why we do it this way. We actually made a video about this several years ago, and I'm going to include parts of that in this updated video.
So we have an adventure car, and we get a lot of questions about this car.
Why do we do it this way instead of towing the adventure car behind the RV? So one advantage is Cherie is following behind me. She can see what's going on with the RV all the time.
That's right. Looks like you lost a sewer cap.
Really?
Yeah, the sewer hose is hanging out a little bit.
Oh crap, okay, keep an eye on it.
I will.
I tell you, the things that fall off the RV. So Cherie is telling me, hey, I think you lost a sewer cap. And one of the benefits of the follow car right there is if something falls off.
Well, like power lines. Sometimes he's like, oh, can you keep an eye on this and make sure I'm going to be able to fit under this power line because it looks really low. And there was one time when the spare tire that's underneath, it'll scrape sometimes if he's doing any kind of incline or decline. So I keep an eye. I'm the eyeballs for him.
Cherie in the follow car. Another advantage, she was able to scout out where I should go because there's so many different roads and you don't want to take the wrong one in here. I've got to swing out and go out through the indoors, so to speak, because it's such an incline here. It's a little better over there, and we've got that spare tire right there. It sits so low and it's connected several times. Okay, pulling out.
Looking good so far. You're good.
Sweet.
And we do the same thing with the new RV.
Yikes, you're close too, but you're good.
Yay, grand design, huh?
Yes, yay.
And speaking of tires, I hit a really nasty pothole once, and my tire, one of the tires in the RV, sprouted boobs.
Yeah, they called them boobies, but they're like bulges.
Yeah.
And I was able to see it following behind him and able to say, hey, there's something going on. We need to pull over and check it out.
And I never would have caught that until we had another blowout. And you can catch that video. We'll link to it up here if you want to find all about our tire adventures.
Right.
And another reason we don't tow the adventure car is it's not legal in many states to have that second or third tow. I don't know what you would call that exactly. I think some people have called it a triple tow. but it's not legal, especially in the eastern states. I know Florida and pretty much the eastern coastline that you can't. Now out here in Montana,
We see it all the time.
yeah, you definitely can, but we're so long already. To add the length of the vehicle on there would be way too long.
One of the huge benefits of having this extra car is adventuring. We have gone on out of town trips in it. We'll leave the RV in storage sometimes and go take a little trip. Or like right now, we left the RV in Missoula or near Missoula, and we've traveled up here to Glacier, and we're spending a week up here. So we have a little get around car that just zips around. It's not that huge 1-ton truck. It's not very zippy.
Yeah, exactly. And so we save money on adventuring with that Prius because that is a hybrid.
Which brings us to the next benefit, is that we believe, we're not for sure on this, but it gets such great gas mileage that it's probably cheaper to drive it than it is to tow it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the weight of towing the Prius behind the truck, how much that would hurt the fuel economy there, but the Prius by itself gets about 45 miles to the gallon.
Sometimes 50. So yeah. So a lot of times when we're looking for diesel for the 1-ton, when he's pulling the RV, I'll zip ahead, scope out the gas station, see which ones he's going to be able to easily maneuver through the gas station and find a diesel pump where that he can have access to.
Can you see if there's any diesel over there in the auto section?
There's diesel on the end. Is that what you want?
And as you know, some stations are really tight that have diesel.
That's
and
right.
I've gotten myself into some pickles.
Yeah. Youch.
And if it's really busy, you can actually block that pump specifically so somebody else doesn't race in there as I'm pulling up.
Yeah, so I just drive ahead and walk him and say, hey, you know, this is the great one to go to, and he pulls in, and it makes things really simple.
Works great.
Yep. Another benefit is I'll drive ahead and go grab us some lunch somewhere. Sometimes I'll even, before we get to our destination, pull into the Walmart, get supplies while he continues on to the campsite.
Yeah, you can get off the highway, go do something, and meet up at a rest stop, and I don't even have to take the RV on some unknown exit that may be hard to get back on.
Right.
And as some of you know that are already RV living full time, driving around, you can get stuck in some places when you take a wrong turn, and it could take you a half an hour to get back on the road.
Another thing I like to scout out ahead is campsites.
So we're gonna go check it out before we drive the momentum down tiny roads in this neighborhood. And wow, some tight roads.
Are you paying attention? Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Are you paying attention to how narrow these roads are right here?
Yeah. Oh, this is nothing like what we drove through to get to that state park.
No.
So we're gonna check this place out before we bring the momentum down.
Scope
here.
it out. That's a tip. If you're big, scope out some of your areas before you get there.
Well, another reason why having the adventure car
It's awesome.
is so important.
We've done it so many times in this car, and it gives you more confidence in where you're going with such a monstrosity.
Even when it seems like it's not that big a deal, I still, just to be like today, it looked really straightforward, but I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of get a plan in your head of how you're going to park and what you're going to do. And so you don't take a wrong turn and then get yourself into a stressful situation.
If we're boondocking somewhere, I'll go check out the Cracker Barrel, see if there's a spot available before he pulls in and gets himself in a tight spot that's hard to get out and it's time consuming. So it actually saves us a lot of time. And when we pull into the campsite, he'll jump in the car and we'll go scope out how he's going to maneuver the RV into the campsite.
Some campgrounds are pretty large, so instead of pulling the RV through the entire park and maybe getting stuck somewhere where I'm not supposed to go, we'll drive the Prius around and scope it out. I can plan my maneuver to get into that spot.
That's right.
This was the most challenging RV park to get into and get out of, and I'm glad we're finally getting out of here. It's like a frickin' obstacle course.
And speaking of boondocking spots at Cracker Barrel, those parking spaces can be really tight sometimes.
Yeah.
And you'll go in advance and see if there's one where it's maybe close to some grass where we can pull up. And radio and let me know.
That's right.
And as you're scouting out campsites in general, you can just see, are they actually big enough that we can
fit in.
get into?
Yeah.
And some places might say like a 35-foot limit, but actually that doesn't mean you can't fit a 40-foot RV in there. Sometimes you can. And so it's nice that she can go check it out before you have to bring the RV in there in the first place. And let's not forget about low bridges.
That's right.
You can
We've
spot
seen
those
some really low ones
as well.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, that is tight. 14.7. 14.7. We should be good, right?
Yeah, we're 13.5.
Yikes.
Head east on Gateway Avenue. In 800 feet, make a U-turn.
You should have put the camera on top.
So speaking of grocery shopping, we go to Walmart often, and sometimes we won't stay there overnight, but we can park at Walmart, get some groceries, leave the RV with the truck attached to it. We don't do anything, pull out any slides or jacks down. We just leave it there. Looks like we're there. We'll take the adventure car out and scout out for a campsite or a campground.
Yeah, to find one that we can fit in.
Right.
Or easy to get in.
Yeah, and we consider this pretty safe because it doesn't look like we've left the RV. And don't disconnect your RV at a Walmart and then drive off somewhere. That's not a good idea. And speaking of Walmart, we made a video on Walmart, so check that out on what to do and not do when you park at Walmart.
Right.
Plus, we actually get some alone time. Cherie gets some time in the car.
I get my time in the car where I can blast my music. I can catch up on some phone calls, and I like to sing. I can't sing, but in the car.
She doesn't want me to hear her sing.
No, so I can sing, and it just makes me so happy, and I love that time for myself.
Many people question why we travel this way because they're not actually living this lifestyle right now. If you're in the dream stage of RV living full-time and you don't spend 24/7 with your significant other now, you might not understand this, but it's nice to have a break from each other.
We seriously don't really get any time apart except when we're doing this because we're always traveling together. And as many of you know that have an RV already, they can be very small, even though ours is large.
Space. Yeah, it's still a small space.
We work and adventure all day together, and so this is some time we get a little bit of time to ourselves.
Yeah, we like it. And then Tom, Mr. Chatty Chats, likes to get on the walkie and just chat still. So we still talk to each other.
I can also clear a lane of traffic so Tom can get over in the RV.
Okay, I'm over and you're clear.
Which Tom appreciates, especially when traffic is bad.
These individual islands at Love's used to be pretty cool, but at our length and this particular one just not working. I was able to fill up, reach the pump, but you can see this problem right here. I don't want to mark up these tires like a lot of other people have right there.
Speaking of filling up, also, I can help get Tom out of a sticky situation, and it's safer for me being in the car instead of standing unprotected on the road with just a walkie-talkie.
But just another advantage to the follow car back there being able to navigate.
If there's a breakdown, run out of fuel, etc., you still have another vehicle to get help. We are not tied to one vehicle if we need to run errands at the same time. Tom can go get an oil change while I go get groceries, supplies, or run other errands.
Cherie's gonna pick me up, head back to the RV.
It's great for being efficient. Sometimes things come up from behind that are unexpected.
Move over. Holy smokes!
I was also able to give Tom a heads up when I noticed that the truck was smoking, although I thought it was the RV smoking.
You're smoking big time.
Okay, we'll record it.
Eventually, I want to be following Tom in this. So as you can see, we're not doing it the wrong way, we're doing it our way. There is no wrong way. You have to do what works for you.
So what do you think of traveling this way?
Right. Initially, we didn't think we were going to do it this way. And then once we got the adventure car, we started seeing benefit after benefit.
Yeah, would you do it?
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you learned something from us, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, would you do it this way with an adventure car?
Right. And please subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be, and ring the bell, and you'll be alerted when we have a new video come out.
And share the video with your friends as well. We really appreciate that. And we've got links below to all of our favorite RV stuff and lots of great tips and things like that. So we really appreciate it when you use our links.
That's right. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye, guys.